That's the introduction.
Is that the
Well,
intro?
that's it. James, what's going on, man?
How's it going, guys? How are you? Good.
We are
Always good.
That's what I want to hear. Look at us all just grabbing our drinks.
How you doing, man? How you been? What have you been up to during lockdown? Question we're asking everyone.
It's been a bit of a mad one, like the first week or so, just dead, like, anticipating, thinking, this ain't gonna be too bad. But like after the first couple of days, I'm like, wow, like how do people who are dossers, how do they do that all the time? Sit on their ass and do nothing. Honestly, I can't do it. It's impossible. I mean, it's like
Driving you a bit nuts.
it has, yeah. Like, just I hate sitting still. So I've got to keep busy. What about you guys?
Yeah, do you know what? Me the same. So like I was telling you before, I've been working from home, but that's been minimal. Things quieting down quite a lot. For me, I've just been working out, walking the dog, doing these podcasts.
Home workouts, yeah.
Yeah, and spending a lot of time in the gulag on COD as well. So.
Oh, mate, I don't play COD, right? My brother's got it. I had to go the other day. Wow, like that is intense. The gulag.
Yeah, it's intense game, man. So that's what I've been up to. Don't know what you been up to, James. James Cardwell. Too many Jameses in here.
Oh shit, 2 James here. Literally the same. Basically the same.
Have you?
Reading. I've been smashing through books like there's no tomorrow. I'm like two books deep already.
Really?
Which is pretty decent for me. I read like a 5-year-old, so it's pretty good.
Yeah. Hand like that.
Yeah, man. I have to sound all the big words out over 5 letters.
Syllables and that.
I'm joking.
With reading, I can't read. How do you do it? Do you just sit and read, or do you like just try and relax?
No, it's random because
That's a good point.
I don't overly enjoy it in a way. Like I do it because I know it benefits me. It's like going to the gym or something. But I just set myself like 10 pages. 10 pages, 15 pages in the morning and like 15 pages at night, and then in like 10 days you've cracked a book. And
yeah,
if you break it down like really small, it's not as bad. I couldn't sit and
I don't know how people do that. Like go on holiday with them and you just see them whip out a book, start reading in the sun, and it's like what?
You can't do it. Like what you said then about breaking stuff down. Like I agree with you there. If you can break stuff down, it makes it look better than it is. So like, for example, I used to think £1,000,000. You can break that down. It doesn't seem a lot when you break it down into certain bits. You know what I mean?
Like making $1 million.
Yeah. Or for example, like I have to do the maths. What I read, it was like to do £1,000,000, it's 2.7k a day. But that doesn't seem a lot, does it? But if you do 2.7k a day over 365 days, that's £1,000,000. So like you were saying then, I know I've gone completely random, but like breaking down the book rather than 500 pages, 15 pages a day. Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing, yeah. Like goal setting, man. Like setting proper goals. That's how people should be setting goals. I think is breaking it down into like bite-sized chunks. That's achievable.
Rather than trying to aim straight for the 1 million or the 500-page novel book or whatever. Like you break it down into segments, then it's easier. I think that's probably the best thing to do.
Do you do that in your business? Do you set things down, big goals, medium term, short term?
Yeah, for short-term goals, they're always like, either written down or like on business plans technically. But long-term plans, like it's just stuff in my head. I don't write stuff down long-term. Like I used to when I was younger, when I was about say 18, a couple of years ago, I'd be like, right, I'm going to do this in 5 years' time. But like, I just know clearly where I'm going in my head, so I don't waste time writing it down. I'd rather just do it. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Maybe for business.
You zoomed in on your goal, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm just where you know where you're going.
I've already visualized where I'm going to be. I already know where I'm going to be. I already know what everything's going to be like. So it's like, I'm not going to waste my time writing it down because I just know it's not going to benefit me writing it down. I bet it's in here. As mad as that sounds.
You just carry that around with you every day.
Yeah, it's like it's weird because I don't always think like I don't always think, right, I want to do this, but like when I'll do little actions, the reminder of why I'm doing it will be there. That makes sense. Oh, this is the reason why I'm doing it, because I want to do this X goal. But yeah, for business, obviously at the moment, this wasn't in anyone's plans, coronavirus, was it? Wasn't in no one's plans. So like you just kind of, the way that I'm quite fortunate with my business is we're very like proactive. We can just react to things like that. But like a lot of the big boys, especially in the fashion industry, are getting crushed at the moment, and they didn't plan.
Can you give someone an example of how you're flexible, like a practical thing that someone can understand?
So in terms of our relationship with suppliers, so we're lucky. We've got a very, very good relationship with suppliers, as well as other companies do. What I mean is like, because of our quick turnaround time with suppliers, we can have a product made and sampled within 4 to 6 weeks, whereas these big companies obviously plan a year in advance, whatever. They have to like they have to commit to the stock. So for example, we've shortened down our summer collection now because of this, because in my eyes, I don't think there's going to be a UK summer this season. So like I'd rather cut down our collection now and then get bigger on the winter collection. But these big companies who bought the stock a year in advance or put deposits on a year in advance, they've already committed to it now, so it's too late for them. Whereas us, we're small, and because of we don't have to use a long amount of time. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it does make sense. It means you can pick up on any trends as well. Like obviously this is a negative, but like anything positive that like kicks off, you can jump on that pretty fast.
Straight away. And the thing is as well, we are very, very lucky. This is what I preach to anyone who wants to start a brand. Don't try and get into loads of shops. Like, we're very lucky. We're obviously direct to consumer. We don't have to worry about like big companies. I can't obviously name any, but like pulling the plugs off us and saying like, oh, we don't want your order now. So like wholesale and that, we don't have to worry about that. We're direct to the consumer. Like I know brands who are going to suffer big time, and they are suffering because they've had retailers just say to them, look, we don't want your order, we're cancelling orders with you, and they've already paid up front or whatever. So it's going to be a tough time for a lot of brands and a lot of businesses in general.
On that, do you know, on James was saying the reacting quick. I saw that Rmdy as a business, you guys were putting out some goodie bags when the corona hit the UK first, like pretty hard, and everybody was panic buying. There was no toilet roll anywhere, no pasta, and you had those goodie bags. What did you have in there? Like toilet paper, pasta, teas, biscuits.
Literally that. Toilet paper, pasta, a paracetamol, bottle of water, long-lasting milk. We had other ones which were like different. So we had ones with nappies in baby milk, soy milk, all sorts of other stuff, obviously to make it different for others. And went round.
So what made you want to do that? You're a small business, right? And there's a lot of big businesses out there that are in a position to help out, especially in times like these, who choose not to. What made you want to step away and do that?
I don't know, it was just a case of like, I've always thought like, wouldn't it be nice to give back? I've always been like quite charitable, I'd say. Like if I see anyone I know, a friend or whatever, doing something for charity or whatever, I'll always give my like 2 cents, you know what I mean? But like this was kind of like the first big thing, I guess, we've ever done for charity. Well, I wouldn't say it was charity, but like giving back to the community. But yeah.
What was the response like?
Great. Like you can go down 2 routes of it. Like a lot of it could boost your ego. Didn't boost my ego, but like the messages I was getting, people saying like, "Wow, this is amazing!" Like people around here, appreciate you and that. But like, I just add it to the fuel of like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, I am doing good. I must be doing good. But on the other hand, if no one said anything to me, I wouldn't care. I'd still do it anyway. I still would have done it. Do you know what I mean? But it feels good to give back. And as weird as that sounds, you've got to give to get back. And I remember sat in bed after I'd done it all, dropped off all the bags, I was like, whoa, that was just sick. Mad.
Sick,
It's
man.
something so little. It just felt good. And like I had a message off. It must have been someone we dropped the bags off to, and they said, probably should have got it off on the phone, but he basically said like, thank you so much. Like, even though these are so essential everyday things, it's really brought a smile to mine and my wife's face, and I was like, wow, like that's all I wanted to do. So I was lucky. I had Danny. He come with us, dropping him off, and we went round. We went miles. It was over 2-3 days. We went. The first day it was like shopping to try and find the stuff, and obviously, as you're aware, people were panic buying.
Yeah, man.
Like trying to get toilet roll of all things. People were going mad for that, surprisingly. But yeah, over 2-3 days. So the first day, obviously just going around shops trying to find it. Second day was same again, and then the third day, on the second day we not advertised, but we joined a group chat in our local area and said, anyone need anything, let us know. And I think we had like something like 500 comments or something like that. So it was like fucking a lot of people wanting it. And then we did like a plan, like we're gonna go to here, drop off, and then that's what we did. And it was good. Honestly, it was sick. We had a few knockbacks though. We had on the last night, we were dropping some stuff off in Chester, so we were right in the middle of town, right in the centre, and I think I had like two or three bags left in the back of the car, and I was just going to give them to the food bank. Any stuff left over, just give them to the food bank. And then there's this homeless woman on the step. So I said to Danny, should we give her a bag of like, toilet paper, some soap, I know it's obviously not essentials for her, but like anything to help. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just got out there, and then this traffic warden come out like, you have to move, mate. I said, yeah, just give us 2 minutes. We're just dropping this bag off here for a homeless lady. No, you'll have to move your car now. I said, can you just give us 2 minutes? And he's going on, and I was just like you're trying to do good. And I know he's doing his job, but like you think, hold on, mate, if you got a heart, do you know what I mean?
Zero compassion.
So luckily, no, we just said, look, we're doing a nice gesture here. Can you just spare us a minute? And luckily he did. But do you know what I mean? Like you think, God, put your job aside.
Weird, right?
Yeah, it's strange when people are wired like that.
No, you could clearly see, like, we got out the car, we had these bags, and I was genuinely chatting to the woman. I was interested, when I meet people, I always ask, how did you get here? Like, and obviously it's very like a personal question to obviously a homeless lady. I was like, what happened? Like, how did you get from to living on the streets? And she was talking to me about it and saying like, she's been there for 21 years. And I was like, wow, like, and that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk to her as well. But then when you have someone trying to stop you, you're doing something so little. And bearing in mind, this was about 10 o'clock at night, no cars were around, and he's trying to give me a ticket. Just think, job of
Yeah, it's strange, man. Is it the first time you've ever done anything like that structured?
Yeah, we've done. I've sponsored charity events, or I've never done anything off my own back to give back to the community, and like 100% going to do it again. Going to do it again, bigger, better, and get more of our audience involved, because like we put it on our socials, and everyone was saying like, wow, like you're not just a clothing brand, like you're a brand which stands for a message. And that's literally what we're trying to get across. As cool as Rmdy is, obviously selling clothes and that, like people don't just buy the clothes, they buy the brand, and our brand is a brand which gives back, and like it represents a message, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely will do it again, but obviously something different. Well, it depends if this coronavirus stops anytime soon, the pandemic.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, well, bit of a side note. Where do you both think we're going to end up with this? Like, where? Like, do you think this is going to affect society for big changes to come, or are we going to go back to normal after this?
No, not normal. Go on, James. You answer first.
Quite a big question, that.
I don't know. I think it will change everyone. in our generation forever. I think it will. I don't, because I walked past an empty restaurant today and I thought, I don't know if people will just jam themselves into restaurants anymore. I don't know if people will jam themselves into flights, into. I don't know if people are going to be way more conscious of this sort of stuff now.
Like hygiene.
All of it, yeah. But yeah, the whole like how densely populated we are and all that sort of stuff.
Well, like
It's going to affect people mentally, just being confined for 3 months and then going back out. Like people's mental health is going to suffer big time. Anyone that didn't check in with themselves before this regularly, like exercise, meditate, look after themselves, talk to their friends, or just have like a good eye for the mental wellness, they're going to be proper fucked after this.
Yeah,
it's going to be so tough for them.
I think as countries have it though, if you look around, like we do have it at the moment a little bit better than, well, I say a little bit better, but it is a little bit better than other countries. You look around New York, America, even in France, imagine being in one of those cities, you're locked down in an apartment. You're allowed out for an hour a day. And, if you've got a 1-bedroom apartment, you're going to be like in isolation, like in a prison in there, man. It can't be nice.
I think in terms of like changing, I honestly think like nothing is going to go back to normal until like I'd probably say January. In terms of like obviously the lockdown, I don't think people are deluded. I said this before, that they think the 3 weeks that Boris has said is going to be over in 3 weeks. Not a chance. It's going to be minimum June until any sorts of restrictions are lifted. But like people think, oh yeah, after the 3 weeks or whatever, we're going to go straight back to the clubs, the bars. That ain't going to happen. That's going to be the last thing that's going to be lifted.
Yeah.
Confined spaces, they don't want that. The government, they want it to be like only go out for essentials. So in terms of like people changing and that, I'm in two minds with it. I think society as a whole, the way businesses are run, the way people consume like their social lives or whatever will change really. Businesses for a fact will realize, wow, all my staff can work from home. I don't need this big office. Why have I got this massive office with loads of desks in if I can have my team externally work from home? I know obviously having an office has its benefits, for well-being, but that's what a lot of companies will do. People will also realize they can shop on their phone a lot more. Like they won't need to be going in the shops and seeing the clothes, or for example clothes. But they can just do everything from their home. Don't need to leave. But I don't think there's anything better than human interaction, so that'll never change. People always want to see each other. Crazy to think now.
Do you think what people value might change quite a bit from this, like in terms of even the markets of what's going to be the new desirable things to have, or do you know? Because we are like a super materialistic culture,
100%. I know, like a lot of luxury. I'm trying to. I know I relate everything to fashion. Obviously, that's my game. I know a lot of luxury brands are suffering at the moment because people are realizing, wow, I'm spending £500 on a Balenciaga like cross body bag. I don't need that. So like people will realize they're spending money at the wrong places. However, like a lot of people are thinking at the moment, wow, I've just got paid 80% of my wage for sitting at home. Like, that's crazy. I can spend money. So like you'll see a lot of people now spending money more because on stuff they want, because they don't have to worry like, oh, I can save more because I'm in the house. So I do definitely think though, like I don't know, it's a hard one with like I would say
no. That is true what you're saying. If people are still being paid at the moment from their work, if they are fortunate enough to have that, you are going to have more money because you're not going out as much. You're at home. You're not spending. Well, that's from me, even from my personal experience. Anyway, I'm speaking there.
Yeah, but I know, like I put out a tweet the other day. I can't remember what I said, but it was basically a case of like, I think people's attitudes and behaviours will change after this, hopefully for the better. However, I had a lot of people message me and say, no, people will change after 1 week. So, for example, people will be like, right, I'm going to use this time to be a better person. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to go for a walk, run, whatever. And as soon as the lockdown is over, independent when it is, I'll just go back to the normal, same, mundane routine they've got. Boring. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot to change, doesn't it? I don't know if you've ever picked up a habit or anything, but like it does take a lot to change a person. So whether or not people will change, it's just a wait and see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, man. You're right. People, that's the other thing. Like, people could just go back to default straight away. Like 1 week, back out, everything's open fully. When everything's back to normal, that's when you'll really see if it did affect anyone. Because Neil, we said it on another podcast. Like, people are so fast to forget. Fast to forget.
Like
just anything.
If you're not, I was going to say as well, if you're not using this time wisely, because now, like, we live in a world which is so busy. Everyone's always busy. Sorry, mate, I can't come out. I'm busy, whatever. But, like, we live in a world where everyone's up to their neck in work or socializing, whatever. But now, everyone's got that much free time. This will truly show people's attitudes to their friends, if they are even friends with them, and if they do want to speak to them. Test relationships. It'll also test what people want to achieve in that free time. So now is the time to start something new because you've got free time like never before.
It's like a time when no one's watching you, and that's always that's what I always think about. Like, world champion boxers, they'll be training like 2-3 times a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, 12 weeks in a row. No one sees them. They see them just like one time, like one night. So I think now no one's watching you. No one can see you. So you can't show off like, oh, look out, I'm working, I'm driving to work, I'm doing this. You just have to knuckle down and actually do it.
You're right, because that's the thing now. Like, I used to be in two minds about it. I would hate when probably like a year, probably about 2 years ago, I'd hate sharing anything work related on my Instagram, being like, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. I was under the impression if you want to be successful, you have to work in silence and let your brand or whatever be the vision. And people see that. But then I thought, nah, do you know what? Like, a lot of people do need someone on their Instagram to be always working, always showing what they're doing, because then it helps inspire. So it's like a catch-22. Like, you want to show people you're working, and like, yeah, I get that, but like, the reason why I personally do it is for people to like younger generation. Because when I was younger, I never had anyone young to look up to and be like, oh, do you know what? Like, you don't need your education grade. You don't need that. You can work hard, work without anything. You know what I mean? So that's why I do it. But yeah, I would think though. I'm in two minds about it. It's weird. Really weird.
It'd just be fun to watch. It's fun to see. I've never seen so many people running in my life.
Yeah, man. So many. So many, man. It's good to see. At least people are out doing something and exercising and making the most of their free time. But I've never seen so many. And so many dog walkers as well. There's like so many of them like around. Like, I didn't know there was that many dogs near me. But there is.
No, great. I don't know if you've had it by you. You're obviously where you guys are. There's a lot of pubs, isn't there? Pubs and bars, whatever. There's one there's two by where I'm from, and basically both turned into takeaway, shop, and like, so obviously they were told to shut, weren't they? Not to see trading anymore. You can't trade for the foreseeable future. But a lot of these pubs, two of them around me, have done, I think, quite innovative. Rather than shutting shop and losing revenue, but they're actually innovating, and they're thinking, right, well, we can't serve as a bar, a pub anymore. Let's be smart. Let's think here. Let's think outside the box and be creative. I think that's what is going to help a lot of businesses thinking outside the box.
Yeah, and I think even after this now, even the job market post-corona, I think it's going to completely change. And I think people now are going to have to make themselves more as valuable people, do you know? Like, I think simple skills are going to become a lot more valued again.
I think, like, if you think in a business now, I think a lot of businesses are obviously going to think, wow, like, I'm paying the guy X amount of £1,000 a month to do this job where it doesn't actually need, it's not vital, the business can go without him. So, like, I definitely think, like, post-corona, a lot of jobs will be gone, really, and that's obviously a shame, but it's part of the game. Like you said, you've got to make yourself valuable. If you're not valuable, then you're not part of the team. You're not a team player, and you're eventually going to be cut from the bottom first. It's always the least valuable which goes first, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the weakest link. Like, sadly,
it is. But there's only so much you can do, isn't it? Really. Like in general, like I was thinking for my business, I was thinking, well, if Corona does affect the industry, there's nothing I can do about it. There's literally nothing I can do. You've got to be innovative, but there's only so much you can do. Simple as it is.
Has coronavirus made you think about future, like, strategy or contingency now? Has it kind of brought it to your mind or not?
In terms of, like, you know, worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, like that. I did have a contingency plan, like a couple of weeks ago, in terms of, like, well, if coronavirus does, you know, cause a dip in the industry, what am I going to do? So obviously, then, like, you start to think best case, worst case, realistic case. So yeah, in terms of the future, I think, like, I don't know, you know, like recession. I would say obviously we are in a recession now, but a recession is going to last for about this recession we're in, even though it's not technically a recession, it is. We're going to be in this for about two to 3 years. So, like, I think as long as I'm proactive, conservative with cash, smart with my business and my money, then I should be okay. And that's the thing. I think a lot of businesses now, the ones who are in massive debt, borrowed loads of money, struggling each month, bottom line struggling, are the ones who are going to go first, obviously. So, like, that's why I'm very fortunate to be at a small, medium-ish size, whatever, to be able to adapt and be strong, bulletproof, I'd say, I guess, without being cocky.
Well, that's it. I think if you can work smarter, cut your overheads where you don't need them, and work smart. Like, and I think a lot of businesses out there don't do that. Like, a lot of the old school mentality, anyway, is about showing that, yeah, you know, you're a big corporate business, you've got these big offices, and, like, I don't think we're in that world anymore.
No, you're right. And there's people I know who are marketers and they work external, or what they call, like, laptop lifestyles, and they earn an absolute fortune and they have no base. You don't need big premises, big offices, big flashy this, flashy that, massive team. I listened to a podcast the other day of Represent, a clothing brand, and their owner was saying that they've got like 10 staff and they're doing more revenue than a company with 40, 50 staff. So, like, small to an extent is good. I'd never ever take Rmdy to a massive level, thousands of staff. I can't see that happening. I wouldn't want it to be like that because it's 1,000 headaches at the end of the day. But yeah, I just think it's fucking crazy where we're at and how soon and quick everything's happened. Like, did you think you'd be recording podcasts over Zoom? No, you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, but I bet it's, for you, both of you, like, I bet it's made you think, like, wow, like, you thought outside the box there. Like, wow, oh, we can't sit in a studio together, but let's use our brains. Let's get on Zoom and record podcasts with different guests. So that's you being innovative.
Exactly that.
Yeah,
and about keeping busy as well. You know, like, we enjoy doing this, and I believe if you enjoy doing something, like, nothing can almost stop you, really. You know, like, I've seen it with exercises. So many people doing the little workouts at home and posting it or whatever they're doing, not letting the situation affect them. But of course, it is going to affect them in a certain way. But
that's it. There's always going to be something which is affected. But like you said, if you keep them busy, doing the most you can, then no one can turn around and say, "Oh, you didn't use your time wisely," or you can't say to yourself, oh wow, I wish I did this, because I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, but like, have you ever had that feeling where you're like, wow, I wish I did more or whatever? And like, that's a horrible feeling. I hate having that feeling, but I know for the fact.
Sorry, James.
Well,
No, I was going to say, I think a lot of people are going to be facing those issues, like I think in these times now, a lot of people will have lost jobs. And I'm sure the banks are going to be collecting anyway when it's time to collect, whether it's mortgages or what after the post-corona. But I think a lot of people are going to be thinking, I could have used that time to apply for jobs or redo my CV or whatever it is. That's going to put them in a better position post this.
That's it. I read something interesting. I read a thing called Daily Stoic, and it's like, they'll tell you like daily stuff, whatever. And it was saying every single day we're dying, we're coming closer and closer to death. So use your time wisely. And that hit me, and I was like, whoa! Like, if you do think about it, we are dying, aren't we? Technically, as we get older, dying. So like, if you can use your time, which is so valuable, to benefit yourself and benefit the people around you, then, well, you're gonna be a dude. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people who are like, I'll speak to them, oh, what you done today? And they'll say like, oh, I'm doing this, learning this. And it's like, yes, like, go on, like, use this time wisely to be better.
Have you picked up anything new in this time then? Have you been able to learn out new or added anything new to your routine?
Routine is hard though, isn't it? Like with work at the moment, obviously we're still going, so routine is like a priority, but like, because there's only so much we can do. Obviously our suppliers are short, a lot of people we work with, media teams we work with, are closed. There's only so much we can do, so like slipping into a routine or stepping out.
Oh, we just ran out of Zoom minutes. Guys, gonna have to wait a quick second. James is pulling a lovely face on there. There we go. Do you want to add James in?
Yeah, I'll just send him the
Run out of minutes.
ID. They're fucking pagans, man. Sometimes they let you
upgrade you. No, upgrading today. Well, it's still recording. I was just talking over it.
You just said, sorry about that, guy. Technical problem. Technical issue.
James didn't pay for the updates. Hit us up on Patreon.
Patreon us. £5 a month to get us some Zoom time. Put some money in the meter. They'll be in a minute. In a minute.
I
think. Yeah, it will be soon.
What markets do you think I'll get smashed the most, man?
Airlines are going to get killed.
Yeah, airlines.
I think property will get fucked up. Cars will get shagged as well. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Anything that's like a big capital purchase.
Well, I was saying because James is back. Can you hear us? Oh, his audio's connecting. There we go.
He's in.
What happened there?
We ran out of minutes.
Oh, we don't pay for the fucking premiere, man. Fuck that.
No, I don't blame you. I was going to say, because like, I could see a timer going on the side, and I was thinking, didn't know what that was, and then I seen it, and then just went, I was like, bah.
Yeah, do you know what I was like, you guys were talking before, I was like, I'm going to prompt you when you get to a minute. Obviously, completely forgot.
Is my mic gone back to normal now, do you know?
It sounds alright.
Still the same?
Should be at the bottom left, it'll tell you which one it's connected to. If you click in like where mute is, there's like a little arrow, it'll tell you. And it'll say like system mic or whatever. Should do. Should give you like a little list.
Yeah, I don't know what I've clicked to. Built-in microphone, is that right?
That's from your laptop.
Sound.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't remember what I was going to say. Is it still recording or?
Yeah, we're still going.
Yeah, you were talking about Daily Stoic, man, saying that we're dying every day, proper depressing us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. Fucking hell, a bit dark, isn't it? Yeah, no. As mad as it is, we are dying, I guess, as we get older. But like, I think if you can use the time wisely, because no one knows how long we've got left. Realistically, you don't know. It sounds really stupid, but you could get up out your chair now and like you go downstairs, whatever, choke on your food. I don't know. Obviously, like.
Cheers, man. Can't have my dinner now.
No, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know when you're gonna go, and like they always say, like, you never know when you're gonna go. So like, live life to the fullest, basically.
Well, that's it. Well, we're not really reminded of it really in Western culture. I don't think. I think you're kind of told to live fast more than to live. I don't know, with longevity, man. I think as here anywhere I've kind of seen in England, as you get older, people kind of get into longevity. Start going to the spa, start exercising. But what I see from the younger generation, it seems to be that kind of, I don't know, 100 miles per hour, get everything.
And I'm guilty of that. Like, I'm really bad. But if I want something, I will die for it. Essentially, not die for it, but like, I'll make sure I can do anything possible to get that. But like, a lot of people have got the attitude where they can't see themselves putting in 5-hour shift or whatever a day to better themselves as a person. So if you just expect to wake up one day with a better life or whatever, it doesn't work like that. You have to put in the groundwork. It's like with a business. You can't just wake up one morning, oh wow, we've done £1 million in sales. It doesn't work like that. Like, you have to put in the groundwork to be able to do that. So like, you are right, people live fast, people are image egotistical. Like, it's the world we live in as at the moment. So yeah, I don't like the world sometimes. You know what I mean? But about it.
We don't really act like we're gonna die though. We don't live like we are gonna die.
Because like, you don't think you're gonna die, do you? You think like, no, I bet you don't think. I don't think this now. I don't think I'm gonna get coronavirus, but you don't know. You could catch it and you could die. Like, we've got this attitude where like, you'll see someone else ill, for example, with it, and you think, oh, what a shame. But like, you don't think it's gonna be me. You don't think like I saw a tweet on Twitter. It was like, a girl had to, see her mum pass away with it, and you think like, wow, I don't think that's gonna be my mum. But like, the reality is, you don't know, that could be. So it's fucking. You're right. We don't live like we are gonna die. But if you lived like you were gonna die, you would probably make rash decisions. I think if you knew you were gonna die like tomorrow, fuck, like, you'd be going crazy. Like, you'd be doing mad things, wouldn't you? But like, there's a balance, I guess. I'd say.
Yeah, like, I guess working for the long term. Yeah, wanting to be
but like you said, people don't want that. People want instant gratification. People want it now. Obviously, we're all guilty of it. Like, I want the business to grow now, but I know if I'm smart and think long term, then like, that's the main thing. And like, same for you. You guys have been grinding on the podcast. It ain't gonna happen overnight for you. All these little things are adding together to make the chain, and then eventually, bang. You know what I mean? You have to do the little things, I guess. But yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think like with every journey, isn't it? Like we always say, the journey is so important, man. Those little steps, I think, and that's where you learn like more about yourself. You learn your lessons along the way. Because I think a lot of people out there, I think in the world right now, if they were to get £1 million in the bank account now, I think a lot of people will lose their mind and wouldn't spend the money. The money wouldn't serve them the best way that it could actually serve them in terms of long term, because the habits are still the same. But well, with business, as you grow, you find that you'll learn along the way. And
100%. I feel like even the last couple of months, I feel like I'm always like growing, like my mind developing, becoming a better person, like better business, like my attitude is always changing. And obviously, same for you guys. I think if you're the same person you were a year ago, you're doing something wrong. You need to be always changing, evolving, whether that's doing new activities, new hobbies, new like habits, whatever. you've got to change because
You try new things, yeah.
Yeah, like try new things. Going on to that topic, I've been trying to learn the piano.
Ah, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's fucking hard though. I don't know if you've ever done any instruments or anything.
Yeah, I've played a few bits, played the guitar and DJ'd for quite a while. But piano is good, man. I've been wanting to get into the piano because I've been wanting to make beats for a while. That's on my to-do list at some point.
So you should do it. It's hard. Like trying to read the music. I'm at a very, 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 very early stage. Like I've had like books online in terms of like songs, etc. And I'm trying to like learn the fundamentals before I go in and get like a grand piano and start playing. Do you know what I mean? But like learning that and then using like an old keyboard, practicing. It's fun, but I know for a fact that's another one. I'm not going to probably fully be very good at that for a year, 2 years, even 3. You have to learn the fundamentals before being able to do.
Yeah, I think. What do you think, James? I definitely think it's cool, like doing new stuff, and I think encouraging, like if you see a friend or someone doing something new, to encourage them to do it as opposed to put them down for it. I think sometimes that can kind of happen a lot, especially as guys, you know, like in being groups, you know, being lads, like, you know, oh, what the fuck are you doing that for? Like, you know, when someone's just wanted to try something new. Like we started climbing, me and James, like it's been almost 6 months. We started like indoor climbing, like never done any of that before, and just picked it up as just as a new hobby to do and then stay fit. And like we loved it, man.
You, really, well, that's credit to you because you kept nagging me to go. So I was about to say, like, it's probably important to have good friends around you that will say to you, "Come on, man, try something new, try something different," rather than just fucking take the piss out of each other all the time. Like, just ask and say, like, recommend something, like, actually look out for you. Not even for your best interest, but maybe for your best interests, but just to give you a little nudge sometimes. I think you need that.
You do. If you're not surrounding yourself with people who are forcing you to level up, then you need to sort your friends out. I know a lot of people, and they say to me like, "Wow, like my friends or my friendship group will put me down, like blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Well, you're in the wrong friendship group then. Like, you need a friendship group which is gonna like push you, level you up, like, and be honest with you. Like my friendship group, if I do anything, they'll either be like, wow, like well done, and they won't bullshit me. If they're gonna say well done, they'll mean what they say. Or if I do something, they'll be like, do you know what, I wouldn't have done that, and like they'll be honest with me. And I think if you've got honesty around you, then you are in the right circle. You need good people around you, and like you've got Julian, so you're lucky, and you've got James, so you've both got each other, very similar mindsets, and I think you're lucky there.
Yeah,
you know what, man, talking to you today, like, it's so mad how much you've grown up or like developed in like the first time I ever met you. I was just thinking when you were talking, like the way you speak is like fucking poles apart.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying you were immature before because I didn't know you at all, but like you seem like super, super mature. And like when we met up with you, like what was it, like 4 or 5 weeks ago when we met up?
Yeah, before all of this, man.
Pre-corona.
Fucking hell. But yeah, I think as a person, I think I have changed. But it's all been for the better. I'm just being me. That's the thing as well. Like, I know to some people my age, I'm very different, and people know that, and they think, well, like he's not weird, but like I get
you don't fit in their box, kind of.
Yeah. Like seeing people do well, like business related, like spiritual stuff, like success and stuff like that. Like I like all the good stuff, whereas a lot of people my age think like, fucking hell, mate, just chill out. Like you don't need to be putting yourself through these drastic things. Like for example, the other day I put on my story, didn't I? 24-hour fast.
Yeah, 24, 48-hour fast.
Yeah, I completed, what did I do? 32 hours hard, but like it's the little things like that. People think like, why would you even do that? But like I always like to be different and experiment with shit, do you know what I mean? So
all right, talk to me. I'm interested. So what was it like?
have you never done it?
I fast in the morning. Like I could skip meals every day to like 2, 3, no problem. But I don't know. But then sometimes I get to a point at like 3 o'clock where I think I could probably push it.
Yeah, you probably could. Honestly,
I have been tempted to do it. I might do it in this 3 weeks, man. Fuck it, why not?
Nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But like, I thought, like, I spoke to a few people. I spoke to my PT. I spoke to like dietitians and that, and they were saying like, listen, mate, like, just give it a go. There's no real like reason why you shouldn't do it. So I thought, right, okay, I'll try it. First, I don't know. First, honestly, 20 hours till I think I had my last meal about 6:30, and then the following day about I think it was about 4 o'clock. I was literally like, that's when the hunger came. I kept hydrated all day. I drank green tea, a little bit of caffeine, whatever. But I think the main reason why I did it was to like discipline. I don't need to go into the fridge and get some food. I'm not hungry. My mind is saying I'm hungry, but like in reality, I'm not. So I think controlling it was the best thing because like knowing I wasn't hungry. You know, it's hard to explain, but when you get pains of hunger, you think, oh, fuck, I'm hungry. But in reality, you're not. So like disciplining that is like, was what I got out of it. But like after a couple of hours, after it got to like 24 hours, I just started feeling like this. Oh, it sounds fucking crazy, but like a fucking beast. It's weird. Like its mindset was like on fire. Like I find it hard to stay like on task in terms of like texting. My spelling was shit. But like in terms of mindset and focus and like planning and visionary stuff like that, I was like, wow, like this is sick, and that's what I wanted out of it, and I got that. So yeah, if you haven't done it, I would 100% recommend it.
So how long did you altogether? 32 hours.
32. It was like stupid. I went to bed on an empty stomach. And then I woke up literally like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, "Fuck this! I'm starving." So I was like,
yes.
So I did what I wanted to do. I was like, right, straight to the fridge. What did I even have? I think I just had some like chicken on like sounds really bad. It was chicken on bread with peanut butter. So like but like yeah, I'm glad I did it. I would probably do it again. So I think if you both haven't tried it, like a full 24 hours, do it. 100%.
Right.
I want to hear after this quarantine. I want you to say to me, right? Yeah, I did the 24-hour fast. Blah blah.
See what results.
I'll do it Friday to Saturday. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get it done. I'll smash it out. Fuck it.
Yeah, document.
Jump in the deep end.
Straight in.
Well, document me eating nothing. That'll be boring as fuck. Hour 12.
Another glass of water.
Another glass of water.
Yeah, though. Like, I was honestly, these bottles of water were like gone because you have to keep hydrated, otherwise you start to feel like sluggish and like you don't want to, because obviously you need your food as fuel. If you haven't got that, I think that's when the mind like takes over and you become a fucking predator.
Start hallucinating.
Yeah. You need to do it.
They teach you about how you could actually control your mind though. Like you've got like your subconscious mind and then your conscious mind, and you can kind of wrestle with it. People like David Goggins are like the best people to push to listen to about that sort of shit. Like you've got like a little niggling fucking.
I get it when I'm jogging or something, man. Yeah,
go have that peanut butter, man.
Yeah.
You get it when what? Sorry.
When I'm like jogging or working out, you know, like this. If I'm working out, there's usually 3 modes that I'm in. There'll be the mode of, okay, I'll go through the motions, do what I need to do. There's, okay, I'll turn it up a notch. And then sometimes, you know, when you really feel in the zone, you think, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to push myself. But you're not always like that. That's maybe like, for me anyway, I feel like 10% of the time out of the blue, I'll get that energy. But
it's the energy just comes out of nowhere. But like, honestly, it does teach you like about discipline. So it's like the little things, like when you have this thought of hunger, you don't need to go in the fridge. And I think it definitely would help with like the weight benefits. Obviously I didn't do it for any of that, but like I think if a lot of people were trying to lose weight, that would be a good start, because if you aren't disciplined with anything, this goes back to business and self-belief. If you're not disciplined, like waking up in a routine, staying in a routine, working out, doing the right thing, staying on the right track, not being easily influenced by your friends. Oh, let's go out, let's get do this, blah blah blah. You can stay focused and disciplined, then you need to do that. Do you know what I mean? So this helps aid that. For me,
I know it sounds super cliche, but my basketball coach used to always say, and it's so true, man. Like hard things that are hard pays off. Like they're not hard for no reason. You know, anything that you do that's hard and a challenge, it's gonna build you in some way. Like, you know, like being able to do the fast for 24 hours and not going to the fridge, for a lot of people, that's going to be like mentally hard. You know, they're going to be, oh, I'm hungry, I'm going to die, I need to eat. Like, just give up.
Yeah, and people give up so easy now. Like, I spent half of that fast, then not half of the fast, but for the first, I spent 6.5 hours sleeping anyway, so that's a big chunk out of it. Then you've got 18 hours where you're busy working or whatever. So like, yeah, you just got to be disciplined. But I think I was always told by Danny. So I was training with him it was a couple of weeks ago, might have been a couple of months ago, and he was pushing me like, and I mean physically, like I was on the bike. I don't know what it was called, but it's a bike where you cycle, but like you have to use your arms as well. Is it like cross training?
I've seen all like the fighters on them.
Yeah, whatever that is. And anyway, he was like, right, you've got 2 minutes, and you have to go as like you have to sprint basically, like go as fast as you can. And I was like screaming, I was like, bro, I can't do this, I can't do this. And he was like, pain is temporary. This is only temporary. The best things are after the pain. Like after this is over, you'll be saying thank you for pushing me. And what did I do after it? I said thank you for pushing me. Like the pain is only temporary.
You feel like a new person after it. I don't even know. Like after you've done that after the session, like James, after the session that we did with Craig, like that feeling that you got after being absolutely smashed by someone, and you come out of it like thinking, oh, that was tough whilst you was doing it, but then after you've done it, you conquered it.
Exactly. You feel like, wow, like that was all worth it. And I always think now with my business, I've sacrificed my life so far, well, not my whole life, but like a lot of my teenage years working, missing out on like gatherings, socializing, never been on holidays with like lads holidays or whatever like that. And like I know this suffering, even though I'm not suffering, I fucking love doing what I do, will pay off in the long run. Like it's a temporary pain, I know that, but like I know long term, going back to not thinking for instant gratification, I know long term I will get to where I want to be because I'm making the sacrifices. Because I've always noticed now, I went out to my local city, I wouldn't even call it a city, Chester, one weekend, and I obviously had a really good time, like first time in a while. I went out, I think it was like a month after, and you see the same people in the same places doing the same things. Like you don't miss anything. It doesn't bother. Do you know what I mean? So like, it doesn't bother me any of that.
Yeah, we've got kind of the same with that, James, haven't we? We'll just have like one blowout once every 8 weeks. Once we feel like we've achieved something to do something, you know, that's when we.
That's the best way.
Like celebrate someone's birth, like, you know, with a bit of celebration behind it, with a cause of why we're.
Yeah, why you're doing it, because I think I read a tweet. It was like, why are all these motherfuckers in the club celebrating what you celebrating? You've achieved nothing. Like a lot of people are like, what? Like that's why you have. I personally believe if you are going to go out for a reason. Like you said, have a big blowout. You know, every couple of months or whatever. Don't do it weekly because then the fun wears off it. I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Mundane. The same people are there in the same places doing the same things. Like, where's the fun in that? But if you haven't done that for a while, like we did it, like me and my team, that we didn't go out from like, say from like summer, like from September. Like we grinded. We had like Black Friday, we had a new launch, all the way until December. We had a Christmas meal. We went out and we went hard because we hadn't done it in so long, and we felt we worked fucking hard for this. So, you know what I mean? Have a blowout. But yeah, it's hard to, especially like because my age, I'm at that age now where like everyone is going out all the time, socializing. Like my phone on a Friday and Saturday night, everyone's like, "Bing, bing, bing!" Like you out. Like like I'm trying to work here. Do you know what I mean? So like, I think it's all well and good going out on that, but you've got to stay disciplined, and that's where like I saw a good tweet. I think Bugsy Malone said it actually. He said like a lot of these rappers now they'll get to where they want to be, but to maintain that they don't maintain it. They start slipping off. You start seeing them in the clubs all the time, all the weekends. You see their faces all the time. Whereas Bugsy Malone will dip into the club, dip out, get back on track, elevate to the next level, dip back into the club, elevate. Do you know what I mean? I think balance. Gotta do that.
Absolutely, man.
I feel like I've blown me up. I've said things like I've just come out of my mouth. I don't even know, like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think I impress myself sometimes. Not impress myself, but like I feel sometimes. What am I saying? But honestly.
But well, we got a few questions. We got a few set questions. We might as well ask you those. James, have you got them queued?
No, I'm gonna have to find them. I know the first one, but not the rest of them. First one is if you could be locked down, so in isolation with two people, anyone, who would it be and why? Or who would they be and why?
Obviously I'm not gonna say like personal names, am I? Because then there'd be no benefit in that. But like, that's interesting. That so, who would that be? I'd probably pick someone like Ben Francis, obviously Gymshark owner. I'd just blag his head. I'd ask him so many questions. He'd be like, "Here's a favour, sure." And I'd probably, do you know? I'd probably get a lot of stick for this, you know. But like, I would love to just to question Donald Trump. As mad as that sounds, like obviously that is mad. But like, I know he's very, 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 very controversial in what he does, what he says. But like, regardless of this presidency, his drive and determination to go from entrepreneur to a fucking president, that's like unheard of. So like, I don't know if I could do a self-isolation with him, to be honest. He'd do me head in. But like someone like him, elite mindset, achieved greatness. If I could bring, I'll tell you who I would. Steve Bartlett. What a guy. Yeah, him. I'd stay inside self-isolation with him because I think he'd be very calm, composed, like, and I think he would talk a lot of sense.
Boom. So, can you recommend one key book for our listeners to listen during this time of isolation?
Listen to a book to listen to, yeah.
Or listen to or read, whatever.
Yeah, I don't personally read, but I would say, I personally would rather miss me. I don't know if it's breaking the rules now, but say listen to more podcasts rather than an actual book. Like I put it on my story the other day, and I recommended 5 podcasts, and people said like, that's 5, like that's one book, which will take you, I don't know, 12 hours to listen to, whereas you could have 10 different podcasts, and that'll take you the same amount of time, and you get 10 different bits of knowledge from 10 different podcasts in the same time as you would with one book. But if I was to recommend a book, my favorite audiobook of all time is Shoe Dog by Nike. I think I mentioned that to you. It's because it's very like, it's obviously Phil Knight, obviously the owner, the founder of Nike, how he started young and he got to where he wanted to be. So yeah, a lot of that. But podcasts, obviously, I can recommend a few.
God, you might as well recommend a couple.
Recommend a few then. All right, then obviously your podcast, that was on my list because I say to a lot of people, that is the podcast you want to get on, Make It Masterminds. Diary of a CEO, obviously with Stephen Bartlett, that's class. High Performance with Jake Humphries. He's a dude. He's sick. The Wolf's Den with Jordan Belfort, that's quite good. It's very like business related, like finance related, so I quite like that. And Logan Paul Impulsive, I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No, I know Logan Paul is, but I've not checked out his podcast.
Yeah, you know what? He has some mad guests on there, like very interesting people. Like, I would say it's just a bit of fun. His podcast, really, not as serious. It's good.
Nice. What's the next question? What's the first thing you'll do when all this Corona stuff's over?
I don't know. Obviously, like going to see my family and all that, like the stuff I haven't been able to do. But like, just the little things, like the simple things. Like, I can't wait to go back in the gym and fucking type my code in, get in there, get in the mindset, pick up some weights. Like, I can't wait for the little things like that. I want to have a nice steak somewhere. As mad as that sounds, I miss like. No, it hasn't even been that long. Like, I miss like sitting over the table with someone, chatting with someone, that social interaction really.
Especially over food, man.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. But like, in terms of anything specific, I've been too focused on where I am currently to even think this isolation thing, what happens after it. I just know, me personally, after it, I'm going to be an even better person than I am now. I'm going to push myself, keep pushing my people around me to make sure that after this isolation, they're in the same boat and like, yeah, do you know what? Sound, we use that time wisely. We didn't slip off the track. We didn't get distracted. We didn't fall into being lazy, or we didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, just keep the momentum.
Sick. And last question. I always forget this question. Have you set yourself? Well, do you have a goal that you want to come out with by the end of that isolation and complete it, or a task or anything that you've set yourself?
So obviously, the main aim is to be consistent, but obviously that's very vague, isn't it? When I say be consistent, it's like be still, keep a routine going, just act like everything is normal, but with precautions. But with one thing, these are like little goals, I guess. If I had longer and we were able to socialize, I'd love to learn how to, because I can do a backflip now, but fully be able to, I'm not even joking, run at a wall and do a backflip. I've always wanted to learn that, but like, obviously that's not realistic at this moment. But like,
that is a sick goal.
I was going to ask you how much space you got. How much space is on in there? Your backflip now, man.
No, I not like fully. Like if I had like crash sites, I've done it for about 5 years. Like, but I don't know. Like a specific thing would probably just be like, just say what the one thing I want to do after all this, and just be like, do you know what? That Corona was nothing. I got through it. People around me got through it. Like, we go again. Where's the next challenge? We keep going. Like, we don't let it bring us down. Like, a lot of people see the negativity online and think, oh, it's the end of the world. It is a very fucking hard time at the moment, but try and see the positives in everything. So like, I want to come out of this and be like, wow, like we got through the storm. Where's the rainbow? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the plan. But nothing's ever as easy as that, is it? As you're aware.
Got to keep that mindset. Keep that good mindset. But James, it's been a pleasure having you on. That's a wrap. Ticks us over our hour mark. People want to check you out. I'm sure they know where they want to go. But one last time, if you could just shout out where people want to check out your socials, follow you privately, where can you go?
Of course. Obviously, my main website for the brand is rmdyklothing.com. My personal page, I'm starting to put a lot more content out there, like personal content, mindset, belief, anything like that, at my page on Instagram, rmdyjames, and then my brand page, rmdyklothing. But yeah, I appreciate obviously you wanted to talk to me, so hopefully I've been of somewhat of a value. But yeah, until next time.
Until next time, man. If you just hang on, we'll have a quick chat with you as well after the podcast.